Right, Shalom. I want to first off and foremost give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the rule well, and much peace, safety, and blessings to hopefully elect throughout the four winds, pushing the truth and sincerity and diligence. All right, I want to go into a quick lesson basically on how the flesh war 24/7, all right, against the spirit. All right, because your flesh constantly and always continuously wants to do something, contrary towards the spirit, and it doesn't even have to be on it doesn't have to be on a level of going off, breaking any type of laws. All right, but the flesh always wants to win. All right, it could be with food, with being, if you're a real athletic person or just like doing things pertaining to that nature or staying fitness wise, which nothing is that's not really wrong, but you have to understand that when that flesh wants what it wants, it's gonna do whatever it can, to have its way. All right, you might um anything, anything the flesh want, you know. But we us as being the men of the Lord, the hopeful men of the Lord, we have to continue to walk in the spirit. All right, because by you being in the flesh and you make a wrong choice about something, you could be put in a real bad situation. All right, and we are also here to deny ourselves. All right, we're here to deny ourselves and show that that spirit is in full control. All right. And I also have to tighten up on this myself, because hey man, when that flesh starts speaking, like I said, it'll do whatever it want just to get its way. All right, but hey, with that, I'm gonna just jump right into it. This is 2 Corinthians 10:3. It says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of the strongholds." All right, because what, we are spiritual men. All right, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. By you being in that flesh, all right, you might have a incident at job, at your job. All right, with someone, just got Satan on them, being a demon. All right, and you might have a slight altercation. Hey, that flesh wants to be carnal. You know, that flesh wants to bring the carnality out of you. But being a spiritual man, hey, you gotta just take that L. All right, and you win that way. All right, because we know that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, ultimately we're gonna get that last laugh. All right, but that's just denying yourself. All right, once you deny yourself, hey, everything will just fall in line. All right. This is John 6:63. All right, because hey, before coming into this truth, none of us was spiritual, you know, and everything was just let the flesh win, let the flesh win, let the flesh win. All right. This is John 6:63. It says it is the spirit that quickeneth. All right, because we got that word, from Yahweh Shem Yahshua. All right, that was delivered unto us, and that brought us to life. All right, because what? Hey, you can't live by the flesh. All right, it says it is the spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profited nothing. All right. Hey, by you following the flesh, the flesh won't get you to the kingdom. All right. It says the words that I speak unto you, they are the spirit and they are life. All right. When you keep the true ordinances of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, all right, his laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability on this side in captivity. All right. That's how you prolong your day, the days of your lives. All right. By being quickened by that spirit, being woke up, all right, brought back to life. All right. This is Romans 8:5. It says, "For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh." All right. And you have a multitude of people that was born of vanity that totally walks after the flesh. All right. It says, "But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit." All right. So when you're in the spirit, you're gonna be doing videos. When you're in the spirit, hey, you're gonna be communicating with the brotherhood. When you're in the spirit, you're gonna be doing some reading. All right. Just being active in the truth. All right. Denying yourself. All right. It says, for to be carnally minded is death. All right. So to be carnally minded is death. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because what? Hey, when you're in that flesh, that's gonna allow you to be carnal. All right. When you overtook him by being fleshly, hey, you gonna basically be going committing the wages of sin. You know, by just being in that flesh. All right. But being spiritually is is being woken up. All right. You actually living now. All right, to where you don't have to be carnal all the time. You don't have to walk in the flesh. All right, although we in the flesh, but hey, that's why we have to deny ourselves. All right, to show that flesh, that spirit is in total control. All right. Um, this is verse 7. It says, because carnal mind is enmity against the Most High. All right, so hey, the Lord's hate a carnal person. You're an enemy. All right, you're an adversary. Slack adversary, your adversary to Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. It says, for it is not subject of the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. All right, because what? Hey, you can't please Yahweh Shem Shai if you walking after the flesh. If you walking after the flesh at all. It says, so yeah, that's the next. It says, so then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. If so be that the spirit of the Most High dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the spirit of Hamashiach, he is none of his. All right, if you don't have that spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, and you not of him. All right, because what? You're gonna be doing the lust of your father, the devil. All right, totally walking in the flesh, letting your flesh have its way. All right, and not being circumspect to your surroundings. All right, basically being a free game to any demons that come your way. All right, you're gonna be going back and forth with demons when you totally in their flesh. All right, but a spiritual man will sit back and be like, hey, you know what? I'm cool. Hey, you got it. Hey, you got it. You can have this win. All right, but we're gonna get the real win later on. All right, hey, we here to take L's in this captivity. All right, and the flesh doesn't the flesh and the spirit doesn't war, just while we're in this captivity. But hey, these are life ordinances. All right, because you can always be triggered by the flesh. All right, and that carnality for you to go off. All right, this is Galatians 5 and verse 16. It says, I say then, walk in the spirit. All right, hey, walk in those righteous ways of Yahweh Shem Shai, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. All right, because hey, in this captivity that we live in, it's so many distractions that we have. All right, you might see televisions, people that you knew in the world, just always doing something, and they might be posting it up and promoting it through social media, and you see that, and your flesh, if you're not truly grounded in this truth, all right, if you're not all the way planted in this truth, and your flesh will be like, hey man, damn, I wish I could, go do that, But when you're in the spirit, you're like, yeah, hey, that's cool. They can have their fun, all right, and they all gonna be put to death, It says, yeah, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. All right, because if you're not in this spirit, it says you shall not fulfill, if you walk in this spirit. But if you're not in the spirit, you going to fulfill the lust of the flesh. It says, for the flesh lusted against the spirit, and the spirit against their flesh. So it's constantly a war between the two. All right. And the spirit wants you to do right always. You know? That great conscience. Having that great conscience of knowing you're not supposed to do something. But that flesh would have demons play on your mind and be like, yeah, you can do it, just repent. You know? Or do it. You're gonna be alright, you're not going off. You know? It's a constant war. But when you in this thing and you in the spirit, hey, you gonna know without you gonna know from the jump street. Hey, I'm not doing that. You know, I refuse to do that because you know the consequences of hey being under Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, it's a terrible thing to fall into His hands. It says, and these are contrary to the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. All right. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now works of the flesh are manifest, which are these. So these are the works of the flesh. All right. It says adultery, fornication, uncleanness, uh, lavish. I can never pronounce this word. Salakia. Lasciviousness. It says idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strifes. Yeah, you're gonna have a whole bunch of strifes when you in the flesh. All right, you may have Jake, just pass by you, in a crowded place, and he step on your shoes, and demon, you see it all the time. You know, that's just being in basically be still caring and being in this world. You know, when you're not totally walking in the spirit, it says uh heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness. All right, and when you in the flesh, you're not walking in the ways of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, you drunk on that Babylon juice. It says revealings and such like, of the which I tell you before. All right, as I have told you in the time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. All right, so hey, walking after that flesh, you not even close to inheriting. I'm not gonna say inherited, but hey, you should not make it to the kingdom, you know, because that's still pushing you totally away from Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, it says, but the fruit of the spirit is love. All right, joy, peace, long suffering, long suffering. It's gonna be long suffering in this truth. All right, because what you're gonna constantly battle between the flesh and the spirit. All right, you're gonna want this sometimes. You're gonna want this sometimes. But you have to tell yourself, no. I don't need it. I don't want it. Denying that flesh. All right. It says gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. All right. And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. They that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. Because what? Hey, this has to be this. It can't just be about talk. Hey, let us walk in the spirit. When you walk, you putting on all these things, and it's being shown by your actions. All right, not just saying I'm walking in the spirit. All right, it's gonna be shown. All right, a man shall be known by his fruit. All right, it says, let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. All right, because what? That's not an attribute of indicator of walking in the spirit. All right, being desirous of vainglory. All right, and that's why a lot of guys won't make it up out of here, because they want that vainglory. They setting their treasures upon vainglory, rather than showing you how about Shem Shai that they worthy of this truth. And that they thankful to be called into this thing. All right, this is Romans 8:10. It says, and if Hamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life. But the spirit is life because of righteousness. All right, but if the spirit of him that raised up Yahushua from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Hamashiach from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies in your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwell in you. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh to live after the flesh. For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. All right, and that's what this thing boils down to. If you living in that flesh, hey, you gonna be put to death. All right. 2/3 are totally consumed by the flesh. They want to always look good, and ain't nothing wrong with having confidence or some type of decency of yourself. But hey, man, 2/3 take it overboard. All right, they always want to be seen. They gotta have this reputation, their reputation. Hey, that's walking in the flesh. All right. It says, but if ye through the spirit do mortify your deeds of the body, ye shall live. Because that's what this thing is about. All right. Mortifying the deeds of the body. All right. Doing actually what's right in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. Proclaiming these things unto the Israelites. All right. You Negroes, Latinos, and natives. All right. Letting this be known. Denying yourself. Trying to seal the elect. All right. That's what this thing is about as of now. You know, especially in the times that we in. All right. We supposed to be pushing harder and harder to this thing. All right. Because what? Hey, man, when it all boils down to it, hey, we got a kingdom ahead of us. All right. And we can't be go out and judge people if we still walking in the flesh. All right. That comes with emotions. All right. And Yahweh Shem Shai ain't built us up to be like that. All right. We supposed to be spiritual men. So this is 2 Timothy 2:4. No man that war entangle himself with the affairs of his life, of this life, that he may please him that had chosen him to be a soldier. All right, and that's what we set here for, to please Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, that chose us to come into this thing. All right, hey, Lord willing, we endure. All right, hey, endure hardness as a good soldier. That's what we here for. All right, walking totally after the spirit. All right, 24/7, day in, day out, weekend out. You know, going out on the highways and hedges doing the work. All right. No man that war entangle himself with the affairs of this life. All right, so it's not supposed to be, because what? The affairs of this life comes within the flesh. All right, you have to worry about this, you have to worry about that, so forth and so on. All right, but hey, when you in the spirit, you just totally don't care. You know, although hey, you have to do certain things, in because we're subject to live, in this place, to where things are we subject to bills and things like that. But hey, man, hey, the men of the Lord don't care. All right, because we know that all these things are gonna be burnt up sooner or later. All right, we just trying to cover our ass so that we can get up out of here. All right, point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? So with that, man, Lord willing, this quick topic was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua. Double lines to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and rule well. And much peace, safety, and blessings to hopefully live throughout the four winds, pushing this truth and sincerity and diligence. Shalom.